Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. We are from group 1 with the topic Assessing Listening. Let me introduce our group. There are Linda Fitri Handayani, Selly Nurmayasari, Rania Putri Wahyudi, Ahmad Rizky, Muhammad Septian, and the last is Gusti Ramadan. And I'm Linda Fitri Handayani as the first speaker. I will explain about the performance of listening skill. When we want to assess someone's ability of the English skills, we assess the person's competence, but we observe the person's performance. However, sometimes the performance doesn't show the actual competence. It can occur due to several factors, such as a bad night's rest, illness, an emotional distraction, and test anxiety, thus providing an unreliable measure of actual competence. To overcome this, we can consider more than one performances or context before drawing a conclusion. It will provide a more reliable and valid assessment than a single measure. And next is observation. It's talking about observable performance in listening assessments of students. Observable means being able to see or hear the performance of the learner. The process of the listening performance itself is the invisible and inaudible process of internalizing meaning from the auditory signals being transmitted to the ear and brain, while the product is within the structure of the brain. So we observe only the result of the listening in the form of spoken or written output. And next is the importance of listening. It is a necessary skill for classroom real communication activities, helping us to understand the whole message spoken by a speaker. It provides input that can be very significant for second language acquisition in general and for the development of the speaking skill in particular. In general, we do measurably more listening than speaking, including in the context of education. Therefore, we need to pay attention to listening as a performance mode for class assessments. Okay, I think that's all from me.
My name is Selly Nurmayasari. Okay, the first one is listening process. Designing appropriate assessment task in listening begins with the specification of objectives or the criteria. The first one is you can remember and the memory is stored in our short-term memory. The second one is you simultaneously determine the types of speech event, such as monologue, interpersonal dialogue, or transactional dialogue, that is being processed and attend to its context and the content of the message. The third one is you can use linguistic decoding skills or background schemas to interpret the message or meaning of what we hear correctly. The last one is, in the most cases, we must remove the exact linguistic form in which the message was originally received in order to retain important information or conceptual relevance in long-term memory. The second part is assessment objectives. Understand structural elements such as phonemes, words, intonation, or grammar categories. The second one, understanding of pragmatic context. The third one, determining meaning of auditory input. And the last one is developing the GIS, a global or comprehensive understanding. The last part is types of listening performance. There are 4 types of listening performance. The first one is intensive, listening for perception of the components of a large stretch of language, such as phonemes, words, intonation, and discourse markers. Responsive, listening to a relatively short stretch of language in order to make an equally short response. The third one is selective. The purpose of this performance is to be able to comprehend designed information in a context of longer stretches of spoken language, such as classroom direction from a teacher, TV or radio news items, or stories. The last one is extensive, listening to develop a top-down global understanding of spoken language. Extensive performance range from listening to lengthy lectures to listening to a conversation and deriving a comprehensive message or purpose. That's all from me, and the next material will be delivered by Tania Putri Wahyudi. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to explain about micro and macro scale in listening. Adapted from Richards, that are micro and micro scale of listening. And if you want to assess listening, it can be seen from two scales that we can see from the student. And let's see the first, for micro scale, discriminate among the distinctive sounds of English. And the second one is retain chunks of language of different lengths in short-term memory. And the third one is recognize reduced forms of words. And we move to micro scales. The first is recognize the communication function of utterances according to situation, participants, and goals. The second one is infer situation, participants, and goals using real-world knowledge. And the third one is distinguish between literal and implied meanings. And we move to the difficulties of listening. Adapted from Richards, there are 4 the difficulties in listening. So the first one is clustering, that is attending to appropriate chunks of phrases and clauses. And the second one is colloquial language. What is colloquial language? That is comprehending idioms, comprehending slang, reduced form, and share the cultural knowledge. And the third one is stress, rhythm, and intonation. And we have to understand the prosodic elements of spoken language correctly. And the last one is interaction. That is the one of the difficulties in listening when we manage interactive language flow from listening to reading to listening. Okay, that's all for me.
Okay, next up, we will talk about the designing assessment text of intensive listening. In here, I will talk about the perception of the components larger stretch of language, where we will be recognizing the phonological and morphological elements. The elements that are going to be included consisting of phonemes, such as consonants and vowels, and then words. It could be the one word simulate, where we will be diverse each of English words by their pronunciation and of course their phonetic codes. And then the paraphrase recognition, which is the step up skills open listening, where we will be comprehending the information that we get when we read English text to acquire the certain information that we want to use to answer the questions that has been given. Next up, the designing assessment text, we have the responsive listening. The responsive listening is the type of listening to a relatively short stretch of language in order to make an equally same response that we want to give towards someone who is asking us. The type of questions that we can use and the response is the greetings, where we use this to greet someone and to say our acknowledgements towards someone. And the next one is the command, is where when we want to order someone to do something that we wanted them to do. The next one is the question, where we want to question someone based on something that we want to know. And the next one is the comprehension, where we will be asking about their understanding towards something that we are explaining or even that we are showing to them. Then the last one is the check, where we will check the knowledge or even something that of course we want to know towards them. And be remember that this is a question, but it doesn't really have to use a question mark, because in a command it didn't use that, while we will just be using a point mark. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to explain about designing assessment tasks. Selective listening. Selective listening is a listening technique that filters and summarizes to achieve the listener comprehension goal. A third type of listening performance is selective listening, in which the test taker listens to limited quantity of oral input and must discern within it some specific information. There are three types that selective listening usually use. The first one is listening close, the second one is information transfer, the third one is sentence repetition. Listening close, sometimes called close detection, is a task that requires the test taker to listen to a story, monologue, or a conversation and simultaneously read the written text in which selected words or phrases have been deleted. The weakness of listening close is it may simply become reading comprehension task. This is the example of listening close. In listening close, the test taker will hear an audio about story, monologue, or conversation, and then the test taker writes the missing words or phrases in the blanks. Information transfer. In information transfer technique, orally processed information must be transferred to a visual representation, such as labeling a diagram, identifying an element in a picture, completing a form, or showing routes on a map. Information transfer tasks may greatly reflect authenticity by using charts, maps, grids, and timetables. So this is example of information transfer. In information transfer, the tester will get information about busy daily schedule. After that, they will need to fill in the blank daily schedule with the correct information. The information will be given twice. The first time, just listen carefully. The second time, there will be a pause after each sentence. And the last one is sentence repetition. The task of simply repeating a sentence or partial sentence. Sentence repetition is also used as the assessment of listening comprehension. The test taker must retain a stretch of language long enough to reproduce it, then must respond with an oral repetition of that stimulus. The mistake in repetition is called a mistake in listening. That's all.
Okay, now I would like to explain the last part of our material, namely designing assessment tasks extensive listening. There are three types of assessment tasks in extensive listening. The first is dictation. Dictation is an activity where one person talks about the text and another write down what is said. The difficulty of the test can be manipulated by the length of the word groups, the length of the pauses, the speed at which the text is read, and the complexity of the discourse, grammar, and vocabulary used in the passage. The second is communicative stimulus response tasks. In this task, the test taker is presented with a stimulus monologues or conversation and then is asked to respond to a set of comprehension questions. But be aware that monologues or conversation and the multiple choice questions don't mirror communicative real life situations. The last is authentic listening tasks. There are four kinds of authentic listening tasks. The first is note taking. Note taking is an activity where the student listens some type of lecture and then they write down what is the important thing of the lecture. In note taking, it lack of reliability and the process of scoring wastes time. The second is editing. Editing is an activity where the students review a reading of material and then they listen to a recording of someone reading about the same material. So they have to find out the differences between when they reading and the recording what is saying. And in editing, it provides both written and a spoken stimulus, and in scoring, it achieves high of reliability. The third is an interpretative task. Is an activity where the student listens to some sort of input such as poem or songs, and then they have to infer the meaning of what they heard. It extends the stimulus material to a longer stretch of discourse. Last is retelling. Retelling is an activity where the student listens some talks and then they have to retell or summarize it in orally or written. In retelling, reliability may suffer, and also time and effort are needed to read and evaluate the response lower practicality. Okay, I think that's all from our presentation. Thank you for your attention.